First off, rest in peace, neighborhood nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics. Stick and move, Javante Davis.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, Faith over here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What up? We come at you with topics. We back again with another episode of the 3-Man Weave podcast. I am AJ. Who I got with me today?
You already know who it is. Your boy Hill. He'll go Hill regardless, baby. I definitely healed today. But it wasn't my fault. But I mean, it is what it is. Hey, you catch us all major podcast platforms, 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. Episode 263.
Yes, sir. Man, I'll say that for another time. But where you want to start? We had a lot of things happen. And we normally do this. It ain't really no pre-production. We just kind of take this off. We do this off the muscle, and we just got the standard topics. Football season, so we about to talk about the playoffs and all that is about to happen. You want to go ahead and recap Wild Card Weekend, or we gonna what you want to do?
I definitely want to recap Wild Card Weekend, but I kind of want to just do a little quick post-mortem. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, we can do that.
Like I said, we got time to talk about the winners because they also have another game to preview.
For sure.
So, we got to stay all long because they did lose. So, they don't need to be taking all day talking about losers. But let's go in order. Chargers, man. Quick question for you. And these are going to be kind of black and white questions. But then we can expound on it. Successful season, yes or no?
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, successful season.
All right. Now, what do they need to go move forward?
Everything.
Yes.
Except the quarterback and the coach.
They overachieve. As I stated, but
I do think they were kind of like a year early. Because we said Harbaugh was going to have to come in and clean some stuff up, and he did. And there were still some warts, but now, hey, they got to do some cleaning up, and I think they'll be able to do it.
I think they actually got to see what do they actually really need. Instead of just going for the fool's goal of, oh man, we all we needed was Jim Harbaugh. You know what I'm saying? No, it's really not that simple. I think they're on the path to success. I mean, Jim Harbaugh has always been successful, so we kind of figured that it was going to, happen eventually. This year, it was kind of expedited, but that's not. Let's learn from the Giants. Good. I might say that again for another team, but let's learn from the Giants. But it's clear as day. You know what I'm saying? But how long are we going to stick with Greg Roman? I was never sold on Greg Roman as the OC anyway.
I was not either, because we've had our conversations here and on this platform about the handcuffs that Greg Roman put on the Ravens offense and how that, kind of hamstrung a lot of the things that they did over there. And then now you bring it over here and we kind of see some of those same warts. And also we see some of the same, inadequacies in certain skill positions and stuff like that. And you start to be like, it's kind of ugly. And I'm not saying that to absolve the play of Justin Herbert,
He know he got to play
but
better.
he got to play better. But also, I don't think you can take a look at what happened and his track record and say we can keep this up. We can keep going with this. Now, I don't know. I think Harbaugh's going to run it back. I think Harbaugh's going to feel like let's get some more talent in here. Let's get a wide receiver. Honestly, I would say a wide receiver one, even though Lad is balling. But to me, I feel like you can move Lad around a little bit. In the Hill vein of building a wide receiver room, you
Mhm.
maybe get kind of someone you feel like can be that true X. They have been rumored, Chargers fans, oh, we're gonna get T. Higgins, stuff like that. So, they obviously are looking for that. And then, with a deep running back class, I feel like they can definitely upgrade their running back room and, infuse some talent into this roster, some good young talent, good cheap talent, figure out what Khalil Mack is gonna do. And I think that they can make some noise.
If they stay with the same formula of Greg Roman, they just gonna remind you. They just gonna remind you being West Coast Steelers.
Yeah,
In my
for
opinion.
sure.
So I mean, and I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm just saying that you are putting the ceiling on your quarterback. Like I don't think that. Like I get it. He might have had some warts and he might have need some fixing to get some of these bad habits out of. And Greg Roman is a stabilizer. You know what I'm saying? He can get you back and
Right.
get you to run, get you playing efficient football, which he did this entire season, which is cool. But in the playoffs, once again, Nate Tice said it beautifully. Your warts get exposed, and
Hmm.
they got exposed to a certain degree. And I ain't never gonna see a Greg Roman offense hang with the big boys. You know what I'm saying?
Never, because
And that,
it's not even equipped to do that.
yeah,
And the Chargers didn't have the defense to play that way.
you know, said like I said, with all the talent that Justin Herbert has, you showing up with Greg Roman, and he's handcuffing yourself. So they know what to
And
do. Just don't fall into don't 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 do the Giants thing, dog.
yeah, and I do believe this was like Harbaugh was coming in, wanted to get some structure.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wish that Harbaugh like just has a plan and been like, okay, we're gonna come in, we're gonna run something where it's like I can kind of implement things my way. We can get the running system, and I know Greg Roman, I'm familiar with him, and that's how we're gonna, usher in this. But within this cleanup, okay, Greg, let's maybe move you to a consultant role or something like that. And I want to bring up, somebody, our quarterbacks coach, a wide receivers coach, or whatever the case may be. And now we kind of do things that way because Harbaugh is also an offensive guy himself. So it's just like,
It's the weirdest thing. Like he is he's a former quarterback, but I swear he coached like a defensive dude.
you know why? Because he was a quarterback that was like, hmm, take that, take that.
All right,
26 ISO.
next up is the Steelers. I'm gonna allow you to go first. Not allow you, like not right. I'm gonna let you go first because I do got something to say. Is it's a kind of like a two-parter, but you can go first.
Okay, so I won't even ask any questions because I'll let you go ahead and get to your question after, and then we kind of build from there. But I mean, to me, even Steelers fans came on here and said this is kind of what they expected. So are we surprised? No. Like I said, even when like they were saying like, our guys Jalen and Farmer came on and said, oh, it's an AFC North game, it's gonna be close. And I'm like, no, it's not. And that's why when I said I was like, hey, Ravens covered the spread because it was a little bit different, and I could tell the way that the Steelers were entering the playoffs, man. Like, nah, this was this was just a hey, y'all just was prolonging the inevitable, unfortunately.
Remember, I said it was a must-win for them against the game against y'all.
Hmm.
Like, as weird as that sounded. To me, here's what I want to say first. I want to get the negative out the way first. What I hate, and this is about to be a general statement, but we are talking about the Steelers, but this is a generalized statement. I hate for people to start off all hype, talking spicy, rah rah. They all hype, and it's good. We did this, we did that. Remember, it was Khan. Omar Khan was the best thing in the offseason. He was almost up there with Howie. You talking crazy? Oh, when they put Russ in the starting lineup. Oh, I told y'all Russ is gonna do this. I told y'all Russ is gonna do that. Mike Tomlin know what he's doing. It was all hype. It was all rah rah. And I'm not saying they are wrong to feel how they feel. But what we not about to do when the result is not the result that you want or you thought it was gonna be, now all of a sudden we want to have a rational conversation. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where was that rational back then? Like I said, I hate when people start off all riled up and want to talk crazy, and then next thing you know it don't go their way, and then they want to talk, they want to keep it real. No, we're not doing that. Let's keep this same energy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm generalizing that, but still know what they did. Like you said, I know you said it last week. All this woe is me. We ain't not trying to hear that, bro. Because like I said, you was just
Not
talking
trying to
crazy.
hear.
Like you said, he was just coach of the year mid-season through. You know what I'm saying? Russ is back, and it's all that. So
TJ the best defensive player in the game.
don't talk to me about nobody else when it comes to, what I'm saying? Like, so remember when you said that, and then when the responses come, ain't this why they hate Cowboy fans, right? No, apparently Cowboy fans always talk about we go to the Super Bowl every year. We always talking crazy, no matter how the season is. Don't we always say this about the Cowboy fans, right?
Yeah.
So you never want to have a rational conversation when the Cowboys lose, right? It's always memes and funny this and hip and laughing that, right? And I'm not making this a Steelers coming at the Cowboys trying to say it. Like I said, I am generalizing this statement, but it fits. Now
and my fault.
No, go ahead.
And all I'm gonna say is, like, I know, like, even for me, like, when they cut, like, even coming off the Super Bowl run, like, I said, hey, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this. And then coming into this year, a lot of people were talking about, oh, they lost DJ Reader, that defensive line depth and stuff like that. And like, I believe I even, like, I can't remember if I said it on the show or to you personally in our text message. I was saying, hey, everybody talking about our defensive line and how that's going to be an issue and we got to overcome. I'm like, I'm more worried about our secondary.
Yeah.
And I was like, there is, like, it's little to no depth there. Like, there's no veteran presence for real. You got Cam Taylor-Britt, and then you got DJ Turner, and then Dax Hill is your other outside corner who basically is, being transitioned. And then you got this safety room that who knows what it's going to be. And to me, that's what really ended up being like the true Achilles heel, because Cam Taylor-Britt got benched 5 times during the game, and it's just like, okay, I thought they would be serviceable. And that's why I said being serviceable, if they were average, which they have been kind of throughout this tenure, and what I felt Joe could play like, which he did, basically. Like, the high expectations that I had for Joe Burrow came true.
Mm-hmm.
But I even still tempered that because it was like, I don't know about the defense. Didn't know they would be that bad. So it's like, it's okay to look at moves and be like, okay, I like that move. But you also have to understand, just because you make a move and you bring a name in, don't mean it's always going to be the right name, or don't mean it's always going to work. And so sometimes you got to take a little step back and understand, like, how is this going to fit in the grand scheme of things? And then that's how you start to really decide how hyped I'm about to be about this move. Because, go ahead.
And that's how most of the time, like when playoff stuff, like playoff failures or whatever, I add the off season to this equation. You know what I'm saying? I get it. We can have some teams that get hyped. They get hyped in the middle of the season and go on a run, and then boom, cool. We evaluate how they evaluate. But I do add the off season into this equation and your expectation. Did I expect that? Did I expect the Steelers to win the Super Bowl?
No.
Did I expect the Steelers to get to the AFC Championship game? No. Did the offseason they had was a good enough offseason for them to get into the playoffs and win a playoff game? That is based off the offseason that they had. So they had opportunity to do that, but they faltered. I'm not mad at the offseason. I'm not mad at the plans. I'm not mad at the attempt that they made because you know what they did? They had a plan and they executed that plan. Now, did it go
Hmm.
to the highest of the equation? No, it didn't. But they got off Kenny. A lot of people, like I said, I know we've seen teams move off first round draft picks, but still, this is still new to us. Teams are still reluctant of moving off first round draft pick. They got Kenny up out of there. They went and got another quarterback, and they also went and got
Hmm.
another quarterback to go in this quarterback room. So they made the attempt. They ain't spend no money in this quarterback room. Okay, cool. So you tried to go to the thrift store, Burlington, and come up. And what happened? Sometimes you come up. Sometimes you're like, yeah, I ain't
Sometimes
really
you get a dud.
and
Sometimes you
sometimes
get
you
some,
miss.
but sometimes you just get something that's all right.
It's all right.
And and quite honestly, they got something that was all right.
And I
And
get it.
but that
I get it. This long stretch of not winning the playoff games is frustrating. I get it. But look how frustrated y'all are about not winning a playoff game. Do you really want to
and
tank?
and exactly. And my thing really is sometimes like it goes back to really starting to understand what you're doing in the like in your player acquisition. Because I saw it coming from a mile away. You brought in Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith loves to run play action, throw deep digs, throw the ball over the middle, and kind of work that side of the field, and bring like manipulate the linebackers, and kind of have those big plays you saw with AJ Brown and Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
And so, and then when you bring in Russell Wilson, I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna work, big dog, because guess what? Russell Wilson don't like throwing over the middle. And so when you bring him in, it's just like you have conflicting, I don't want to call it conflicting ideologies, but you have conflicting skill sets. Russell Wilson, he wants to, play action and throw, deep to the outside, and kind of those routes where he doesn't have to worry about all that congestion. You see when he got, he was able to, get George Pickens loose down the field, those those moon balls was dropping right in there and stuff like that. But it's all the other stuff, and that's when it becomes a problem. And then when teams know that they don't have to worry about covering the middle of the field, it's going to be so much harder to worry about the deep stuff. And so you were so Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett don't use the middle of the field, and you bring in a coordinator who uses the middle of the field, but you give him a quarterback who doesn't. We got to worry about that. And then when last statement I'm going to make is some of you fan bases, you about to get like your time is coming back around. That's all it really is. You've been so used to certain things, and now it's just like, okay, you your players have cycled out. That time is cycled out, and now you got to understand, like, hey, now you got to see what the business side of things really is. You know what I mean? Like, just because you were a great team once upon a time, don't mean you always going to be a great team. And it feels good when you up, but let's see how you handle it when, hey, you amongst the masses. You with the peasants now.
But they not. That's the thing. They not. They not.
But see that but the reason why I say that is because I see it in a little bit of a different light, because I see how narratives get built, and I hate to bring my team back in it, but the Bengals always get called a cheap franchise and stuff like that because we do have a cash poor owner. But when it comes to business, really, how different do the Bengals operate when it comes to signing players, and the Steelers when it comes to signing players, or the Packers when it comes to signing players? A lot of those teams, like they draft and develop, and it's only a certain few guys who actually get contracts, and then others they get let go. It just so happens that the Packers and the Steelers are more legendary franchises and have a little bit more illustrious history, but
Mhm.
when it comes to like the operational stuff, it's really not much of a difference.
Yeah,
And
I
so
get it.
now in this day and age, you start to see, teams like the Eagles with Howie Roseman, and the Chiefs with Veach, and some of these other teams, like they always are going for it, going for it, going for it. And that's kind of why they're always in these positions. Even the Ravens. like they're always kind of like in these positions because you'd be like, damn, that's a good move. Like I wish my team would do that.
Hmm.
And so you start to kind of see like these certain things are changing, and some teams don't really like they're slow with the times.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. But at the same time, they're still in the playoff mix. You know what I'm saying?
For
And
sure.
we can't
For
dismiss that.
sure.
We can't dismiss
For
that,
sure.
bro. We,
I'm not, and trust me, I'm not dismissing it. What I'm saying is how the world has come crumbling down for them. I'm saying you gotta learn how to accept it because not every team is about to be in the AFC championship every year. Not every team is gonna be in the divisional round every year. Hey, you made it to the playoffs. You overachieved, but in your mind, how you talked about it, you underachieved. But if you actually were kind of like being objective and kind of not, and I understand fan is short for fanatic, but
Mhm.
if you were objective and had tempered expectations, you would realize you actually overachieved this year.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
some of the moves made you feel like, oh, we about to do this, about to do this, about to do this. But then it's just like, nah, you, you kind of came through with some luck, and that's okay. But that's okay. This is sports. That's
I
okay.
think
Underdogs can win sometimes.
so. We gonna move on to the Packers.
Yeah,
Packers is simple. Once again, to me,
Toyota Thon. Oh,
to me, you can continue doing. It's kind of similar, like you mentioned the Steelers. You can continue going on the path that you've been going on. Continue just to let Jordan Love develop. Continue to develop with these wide receivers, and hope that somebody takes off and becomes the number one. Or since you already paid Jordan Love, you can expedite this development and go get him a legitimate wide receiver one.
hmm.
And then the rest of these wide receivers that we all like will be in their rightful spot. You know what I'm saying? I think the offseason that they had um was very great. With the acquisitions that they made went very well. Jordan Love, he dealt with some injuries, but Jordan Love he had a decent season. We found
Yeah,
out he was more Brett Favre than he was Aaron Rodgers, and okay, that's okay. He's Jordan Love, you know what I'm saying? Um,
right.
the defense found a way. The defense was better than last year. Some things that if they didn't live up to expectations, and once again, maybe the expectations were way too high. Once again, I fell for the okie doke. You beat the Cowboys. Whoop de doo. That don't mean that all of a sudden that you just prepare yourself to NFC or NFL contenders. No, you just beat the brakes off the Cowboys. You embarrassed them. You good with everybody else now. That's what you know.
Beating the Cowboys is like having a Billboard #1 single on your first song, and then it's like, okay, make another one, and
Take
then you
another
like,
one.
it's like Young and May, like you made ooh,
Oh,
we need another one.
you didn't
We
make
need
that.
another one.
But it's funny. I think if the Jets are serious about moving Garrett Wilson, Packers need to do whatever they got to do to go get him.
Yeah,
If
I
if
can, I can.
if the Steelers are serious about moving George Pickens, and I have a opinion on that on a later date, they need to do whatever they go get George Pickens because George Pickens is crazy. Listen
That's
to
what
me.
I'm about to
Listen to
say.
me. George Pickens is crazy, and but when he's getting the football, that crazy is tamed. He only got crazy this year when the offense stalled out.
And I
Uh, uh,
completely
uh,
understand.
uh, all right,
I
so if you put
completely,
him in a
I
better
completely
situation,
understand that, but I seen what that Pitts like. It's something in that because they call it the Steel
yes,
City, but I think they got lead in their water because when they be leaving, they get a little crazy. We seen AB, we seen Le'Veon Bell, we seen so it might be something in that water. We seen
yeah,
Deontay Johnson. So hey, look, man, I don't know if I want to necessarily take on somebody else's crazy. What I will say is if I can get him for a if I can get him for the thrift store discount, the open
Oh,
box special because of his crazy, then
yeah,
hey, we're gonna give it a shot. But I'd rather I'd rather pay market value or a little bit more for somebody like Garrett Wilson or something like that when it's like I know I don't have to deal with your crazy and it ain't going to affect our game. Because guess what? Them little like them little 15-yard penalties that he get on them away from the ball plays. Hey
yeah.
dog, we can't be having that.
See, it's the difference. See, with Garrett Wilson, I'm willing for them to give up their first round pick to go
Yeah.
get Garrett Wilson. But go get George Pickens, I'm willing to give up a fourth. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We hear them. We hear them. 'Cause I'm about to say, hey, absolutely not. I draft somebody and cross my fingers before I give up a first or a second for George Pickens.
But the only reason I don't want them to go back in the draft because it's the same thing. First off, they have a history of not drafting wide receivers in the first round. So now all of a sudden, what we're gonna do again?
Well, you think maybe you should have tried that a lot sooner so you can have an idea of what you looking for in the first round. It's like that.
They
But
normally find wide receivers. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They normally
but
find wide receivers. But like I said, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? They need. I just believe that they really need a true number one because the book was out on them. You could play man on these
right,
receivers and disrupt this entire offense. Stop the run and play man, and boom, Jordan Love will have to hold the ball longer than what he wants to. Either a sack or a pick is coming. You know what I'm saying? Because these wide
yeah,
receivers are not they're not A1 alpha dogs.
for
So
sure, for sure.
you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you rotating them in so much. You think that's not tendencies right there? So
Yeah,
you know, so you play a good team. It's easy to game plan for this team. As good as we think these wide receivers are, as good as we think Jordan Love is. A lot
yeah,
of people
and
they can't overcome a good game plan against them. I'm sorry.
And then also once Christian Watson went out, and I know Christian Watson isn't even their best receiver, but it's just like now your field stretcher, like even now, like our safeties could like crash
Mhm.
down too. So we really can sit down on all your routes, and if we get pressure, it's curtains. So I wholeheartedly understand what you're saying there. Who we got next? Um,
We got the Bucks, and I think the Bucks just need to just get better on defense.
Yep. Get you like get trenches. Get you some
Okay, well,
trenches.
Trenches is straight. They
Well,
need to
okay. No. I want an edge rusher to go
okay, yeah,
opposite of Yaya Diaby. So you
yeah.
still got Vitavia. You got Yaya Diaby. I'm sorry.
Kalai
Hey,
Kancey.
Joe. Yeah, you got Kalijah Cansey. Get somebody opposite of Yaya because Joe Tryon Shoyinka. Hey, dog. Let's go ahead and just make you a rotational piece, or you can get gone, whatever the case may be. But we need somebody opposite of Yaya. And even with their secondary, they got Zion McCullum. They got Jamel Dean. Um, who they have on the back end at safety?
Antoine Winfield is the is
Antoine,
the real one.
Antoine Whitfield. So like,
He
I don't
can't
think
cover
like
everything though, bro.
no, I know he can't cover everything, but all I'm saying is I don't think like to me, I don't think corner like with Zion and Jamel Dean is like your most pressing defensive need. That's all I'm saying. I do think if you are able to get someone opposite of Yaya, to me, that front four is enough where you can kind of start taking pressure off. But I
That's a
think,
philosophy debate because, like I said, I believe it goes hand in hand. Because, like I said, if they went and
yeah,
got
for
a
sure.
shutdown corner, then Joe Tryon may look better. You know what I'm saying? Or if they went and got
No, he won't.
I know I couldn't say it fast enough to chat again.
No, no, he won't. No, he won't.
What was I saying? But if they went and got another pass rusher, then these other quarters will look better. I think, like I said, just fix the defense. I think,
I think they. Do you think they bring Chris Godwin back, or you think he's out?
me personally, he can go. I've never been a Chris Godwin fan. You know what I'm saying?
But in the scheme of that, like in the grand scheme of that offense, though, I do think he's important, especially when he's healthy, especially with Baker. So that's what I was going to ask. Do you think they should be in the market of trying to replace him, whether it be a draft pick or free agent?
See, they still cleaning up this cap mess, not cap mess, but they still cleaning up their cap from going all in when they had Brady.
Brady,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So I mean, I know Chris Godwin is near and dear to their heart, and of course, Buck fans think about him probably way higher than what I would think about him. But
for sure.
he's coming off another significant lower leg injury. Like I think McMillan is well equipped to step up with more reps and take his spot. You know what I'm saying? Now, do they need another wide receiver to replace that loss? Yes, but I ain't about to just sit here and just we got to bring back Chris Godwin, especially when the offense really ain't fall off when he left.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's all I would say. I think bringing in someone in the draft, and then that also kind of future proofs things when you also getting ready to kind of move on from Mike Evans too. And
yeah,
so then you can kind of have that Jalen McMillan and whoever else, and you can kind of have that tandem because you do want to keep like Baker with some weapons
oh
and
for
what they
sure.
got. So I think that. Do you think? Never mind. I ain't gonna put that out there in the atmosphere for the black man. Moving on.
They would have done it already, but yeah, we definitely ain't gonna talk
Yeah.
about it. That was the Bucks. So then we got we got the Vikings, dog, and we luckily we ran over time the last time we was gonna have this discussion. They should have trade JJ to such and such team, and pay Sam Darnold. Boy, I'm glad we didn't get that case out. Oh man, listen, shouts out to Sam Darnold, man. I think obviously he overachieved everybody expectations. I think even himself
Yeah.
he exceeded his expectations. But the
Think about that. In 2024, if you if someone from 2020 listened to you and said, "Hey, Sam Darnold went 15-2."
yeah, it's like all right, bro, like get out my face, dog.
Exactly. Like so it's just like to say he overachieved to like quite honestly, that is an understatement. He
The
put him like he vaulted himself almost in the MVP conversation.
and you could have legitimately made an argument for him. The thing
Absolutely.
about it is they don't have a lot of draft capital, so the beauty of moving on from a JJ, especially in a weaker draft class, you could have got something for JJ. But now it's like the plan was always this. Here's the thing: the plan was to always sit. It was a red
Say
shirt year for
JJ
him
and you
anyway.
exactly.
So of course he got injured, and of course we wouldn't have known if he'd have played. But based off, Sam didn't have a real bad game to the end of the season. So we was
Yep.
never going to see JJ
At
anyway.
all.
So the
At all.
plan, this was the plan overall. So just stick with the plan. Use this cap space that you thought you was going to give Sam Donald. You're gonna have to bring back Byron Murphy. You're gonna have to you actually need some more corners. You actually need
Hmm.
some you need some more offensive linemen. Um
Hmm.
you need some other stuff
Because
on the defense. Like
because
the defense is really playing
Darisaw
well.
got hurt early on in the season, right?
And you thought you was going to try to put a band-aid over with Cam Robinson, and
Yeah.
man,
Yeah. So Darisaw got hurt. Brian O'Neill, I think he played, but he wasn't all the way healthy, right?
he was decent.
They definitely need to fix that interior, and then you
And
just
that's
gotta
it.
go with it.
And that's it.
Just go with it. Just go
You,
with it.
you
But
get another
to me,
corner. You get another corner that can go along with Byron Murphy to really allow Flores to continue to expand on his because he continued to keep adding more and more layers and doing more and more things with this defense. He not just blitzing, just all out blitzing every play. Like
hmm
like you think it's a method to his madness. So he continued to add layers because he can just upgrade players. What they really need, especially if they can get one in this draft, they need another running back.
yeah,
Aaron
because
Jones, cool.
I'm
Thank you. They need some explosive.
yeah, because like I'm happy to see Cam Akers moving around, but in that game, Cam Akers broke off like a 25 yard. I'm like, hey dog, you running like Lorenzo Neal. Like, like where your speed at, my boy? Like, take off. But I'm like, so like, yeah, I think they kind of need their version of Jameer Gibbs. They
Yes.
need some.
Exactly.
They need their version of Jameer Gibbs. Somebody that can just put their foot in the ground and just and destroy an angle. like
And
and
like
and flank that defense.
and on the and another extension of the passing game as well. Like I said,
Hmm.
they don't really like to go. They don't really have a short game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the check now is definitely a part of that game. And like you said, you get another running back that can do, like I said, a give type. You be all right. The thing is, like I said, they had once again they had a plan. They executed that plan to the fullest.
And then
Just build on it.
and again, almost very similar like we talked about with the Chargers, but almost exponentially. Did we really expect the Vikings to be this good?
Bro, they had a chance to get the number one seed. Like, nah.
Nobody expected the Vikings to be this good. And so my thing is like, hey, not I can't even say you were a year early. Like you way ahead of schedule because you probably thought this was about to be JJ. This is how you wanted to see JJ McCarthy in year 3 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You did not expect this. And to me, also, it might also help because now you can almost bring like you if you can get a deal done with Sam early before he hits the market, but he probably gonna try and hit the market because we've seen quarterbacks get paid more and have done less. You know what I'm saying? So there's probably still going to be some people that have like that are going to try and get Sam. But what I will say is I think Kevin O'Connell has an upper hand in negotiations, being like, hey, look, I can put you in the best situation. And so, like, and maybe see that, how he can finagle it and maybe get another year out of him. And because again, JJ was supposed to be a project anyway. Like, so maybe we can see if Sam can, kind of lead him into it and they can pay him and just be like, hey, look, you don't like, he's like, you are our bridge and we'll pay you like an expensive bridge, maybe. Who knows? We can give you a 2-3 year deal with only 1 year guaranteed or something like that. And so you can get, a large amount of your money up front. And then if you want to get out of it, we can both get out of this contract, no harm, no foul, and then you can go somewhere. Kind of like, hey, this is you scratching my back for scratching your back because I put you in a great position to have a great season and you screwed the pooch in the last 2 games of the season.
Yeah, it's just those. I know you don't want to just take the last 2 games and try to ignore the
Everything that happened. No, no, I'm not.
every other. I know, but it's hard. It's kind of like these are the 2 most important games, and you reverted back to your former self. It's like maybe it might just be in our best interest to just move on from you, and maybe my ego have to kick in if I'm Kevin O'Connor. Be like, hey, look, I just fixed Daniel Jones, bro. I had people thinking Josh Dobbs was good, bro. We got Daniel Jones in our back pocket, bro. Maybe I can do the same thing.
That's
But
also one of the reasons why. That's also one of the reasons why when JJ went down, I was like, y'all should go after Malik Willis
yeah,
because I felt like that could have been like that upside trade piece had Sam Darnold play bad and you put Malik Willis in, and you could have because they didn't have that draft capital, they could have possibly tried to flip that. And so that's one of the reasons why I say that, hey, you should try and go after that.
I think they should, sometimes you might have to get. And I don't agree with it, but I mean he may think of it like that. Like, look, bro, I'm a quarterback factory. I am quarterback rehab.
For sure.
My track record kind of speaks for itself. I mean, hey, I had Kurt looking good
And
too.
and they'll get a comp pick if Sam leaves though, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
following year.
Yeah, they'll get a comp pick. So, yeah, it ain't for nothing. So,
It's just the fact that they don't have draft capital this year. So the cap space that they do have needs to be allotted to a multitude of players again, instead of
right.
just thinking you're just running back with Sam and thinking it's going to be better because history history tells us that what regression to the mean is upon us, regardless of what's happening next.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
Well,
it for the we spent way too long on y'all losers.
we did. We can't help it. We talk too damn much.
Yeah, we suck. Let's go ahead before we get to the preview to the playoff game, man. Your man It's already in talk.
You stepping on the product, man. You stepping on the product.
Are they?
I I believe so. I keep
Before,
it.
they say, hold on, before you go, Roger Goodell has made has come out and said that they are already in the works of trying to expand the season to a 18 game season. So let's go.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
so with them, we knew this was coming when they expanded it from 17 when they went from 16 to 17
Yeah.
that it was going to happen. But the only reason why I say they're stepping on the product is because more football means more injuries. More
Hmm.
football means, more, exposure to rosters being worn down, people trying to fill out roster spots and stuff like that. And I understand you saying, hey, we went from 16 and 4 preseason games and now 17 games and 3 preseason games. The only logical step is 18 and 2. But to me, are you at like what are you going to do in that other time frame? Are you adding other bye weeks in there? Are you expanding rosters? Are you expanding practice squad? Are you going to exponentially raise the cap to allow for other players to hey, the biggest thing. Okay, here's my biggest thing. How I say it's gonna step on the product. Offensive line play is already hard to find, and so with all of these games now, all these offensive linemen they're getting hurt and stuff like that. It completely changes kind of the way that games are played, and like specifically like we were just talking about with Sam Darnold when Christian Darrisaw went out, it started to look completely different,
Hmm.
and then he found his footing again. But it's just like, so again, to me, you have to expand the roster to allow for these teams to be able to bring in, more players to kind of, play in these reserve roles. Because when you actually think about a 53-man roster, when it comes down to, you're 22 deep on each side, like like you really only got like a real strong 2 deep, maybe 3 deep at some places because you don't like, you know what I'm saying? So because you take away specialists and then the game day roster shrinks down from like 53, what is it, to 46?
Hmm.
So it's like you're already handcuffing these teams. So it's like you need to be able to allow these players to get these rotational snaps and kind of preserve themselves. And then you having games on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and throwing like having people travel all across the world. And it sounds like, oh no, they get a bye week after that. But it's just like, yeah, but if I spend 15 hours of my like of my travel, like my day that I'm supposed to travel instead of like a 4 hour trip, like it can throw your week back. It can throw your preparation back. Hey, the inflammation that I have in my high ankle sprain can get a lot worse when I'm traveling from Madrid back to Denver. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be doing treatment and stuff like that. So like they're just doing a lot that's like making it extremely, extremely tough on players. And so I think like I know the salary cap is going up, but I think it should go up a lot more if we're going to be asking this from them. And I think roster spots should be expanded a lot. And I think the draft should be extended too if we're gonna do that.
I think I don't disagree with nothing you said. I think that I think should wait for the full details though, because they do have an actual way to make this beneficial to everybody. Like you said, we can have like you said, multiple bye weeks. Like you said, one of the bye weeks could also lead you to playing into a Thursday game. So you coming off a bye week and then you don't play till Thursday. Then again, you have another 10 days off after
Today's
that.
wrong, right?
You know what I'm saying? Then you have a official bye week. So that's a lot of significant rest right then and there. You can spread out some of these games. Like I get it, I know you money hungry and stuff like that. As far as coming when Christmas falls and all these other stuff falls and Thanksgiving, but there's other logistical ways that you could spread these games out and spread those teams out. Yes, it's a 53-man roster. It should expand to at least 55, and all 55 should be active on game day. We shouldn't have to worry
Yes.
about you know who gets to dress on game day. All of them should be able to dress on game day. Yes, you'd be able to expand on the practice squad. Yes, you should have more rest days in training camp, more less OTAs, stuff like that. So it's ways that you can actually do this. But if you go about to come up here and just add another game, and then like you say, teams are still out here playing on Thursday, one bye week, it's like okay, now what
What
you
is all
doing
that
now?
you told me about player health, like
Player safety and stuff
player
like that. But
safety?
now I can't. But then in the game, I can't tackle them hard. You know what I'm saying? Like which one is it? Like so it's ways that they can make it better. Is all I'm saying. Ways that they can make this work. So
Yeah,
they have an opportunity to not just throw some slop in our face and tell us it's going back. You know what I'm saying? So I would rather us wait to see the full details first before we go off on the deep end. But like I say, they have an opportunity to make this work. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, for sure.
And especially bring back the bye weeks when you got to go overseas. Like, there's no reason for me to be going overseas and then be coming back playing a regular game. Like, if
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
especially you making it mandatory that we got to go overseas, so
And,
I should be able to
and
cut back to a bye week.
And if I'm playing, especially how you said about a Thursday game bye week, hey dog, if you got me playing on Christmas on a Wednesday, I need a bye week before and after that. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, like come on, bro. Like that stretch that we just had with all those games, and like you said, you had 4 teams affected. Luckily, what I'm saying, they all made the playoffs and did what they had to do, but it's nasty. So
But we laughed and said, look, Miss King over there struggling with quarterback play. She said, "Ain't nothing logical when my folks barely have a serious QB. Extra games for more disappointment? Hell no." I understand. I understand. Look, I don't know what happened. He showed some flashes that rookie year, and then
tried to tell you.
he was pledging, dog. I guess maybe.
All right, we are not here.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm snitching. I am not Drake.
Are you sure? I just think, like you said, but the 18 game schedule, like you said, they have an opportunity to. They already taken over all the other sports anyway. Like when their season is their season, so they don't care about college football. They don't care about the NBA. So it's like, I get it. Like you say, I get it.
So
But
what happened?
just give us, just attempt. Make the attempt. Is
When
all I'm asking.
when does it stop?
When does what stop?
Because when does it go? Oh, 18-2 is a logical step. When is it gonna go? Oh, nobody cares about preseason anyway. We'll just, allow for more practices and, the summer, and then it ends up being 20 and no preseason. Because hey, college football, like we doing these joint practices anyway, right? So no need. Why do we even need a preseason? Hey, we've expanded the roster, so a lot of your guys aren't getting cut anymore. So that's what you really use preseason for, to assess your talent. What do we need preseason for? Let's just do 20-0. When does it stop?
I mean, possibly it won't. I mean, greed. Could we gonna still be watching?
Oh, and then we're gonna have a whole bunch of Antonio Browns running around this motherfucker.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just that simple. It's just, like I'm sorry, my brother. I ain't got no rebuttal for that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's obvious that greed is what's killing it. Because like you say, they're getting more and more people getting involved with the games. They're getting more. Okay, Netflix got a game. Matter of fact, Netflix wants some more games. So you know what? We got to add a whole another week so Netflix can get some games. We already got Amazon. We already got NBC, Peacock, CBS, Fox, NFL Network, ESPN. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, so
Yep.
who else? So who else? It's gonna be another streaming service that come along that's gonna want a game. So you right? Hey, we might get the 20.
I can't wait till the Super Bowl on Tubi.
We like I said, we already getting wrestling on Netflix live. We already had a
Yeah,
boxing event on Netflix live. Who's to say Netflix don't come in and say, "Hey, look, we want a game every week."
it's coming.
And next thing you know, they got the Saturday games. Yeah,
You're right.
games on Saturday. Like,
This shit ain't never gonna end. They gonna be playing an 82 game schedule.
hey, and we gonna watch.
It's gonna be motherfuckers walking around like Herschel Walker, dog. I
And,
can't. I feel sorry for them boys.
and we gonna watch, and that's the problem. And they know that.
Mm, They
And they
know
know
it.
that.
That's why we get these trash ass. The only reason why we started getting better Thursday night games is because they went to Amazon. Because remember, before they was on Amazon, we was getting trash.
Yeah.
You was getting Jaguars, Bears back when it was a whole. It was 2 packs of ass.
With the mustard uniforms. Like,
Ugh. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get to these divisional joints because
where is
we
that?
done ran our mouth. What's that? What's what? No, that was nothing. That's just an empty slide. You exposing secrets.
Okay, so where's
This is the slide.
that's not the slide I sent you.
I know it ain't the slide, but
Oh,
I already had it, and so I just added that one.
okay, I'm sorry. I
So 'cause
apologize. My brother.
I know you were busy, so I was like, let me go ahead and get this graphic because I didn't like. So yeah.
I said I
So
apologize. No.
no, you good, my brother. You good, my brother. Let's go. Let's start with. We'll start in order. The Commanders in Detroit. Uh-huh.
I mean, I have the Lions. Let me just go ahead and just
I
say
have
that.
I have the Lions too,
But
but I
it's
actually
going
think this
it's
is gonna be. I think this is gonna be a really good game.
I believe so as well. You know, the things that who has really knocked out the Commanders this year? Like at some point, somebody got blown out. Like everybody caught a a significant L type of game, right?
Yeah, they've been in tons and tons of like. I think every game they've had was a good game, or they won it. When
Like
they
I
won, they won
like I remember when they played the Ravens. Like the Ravens was a decisive win. You know what I'm saying, by the Ravens. But it just wasn't wasn't like nobody has came and just dominated the Commanders. So I don't think that all of a sudden that the Lions is just going to be that team. Now, will they win decisively? It's a possibility. But
for sure.
Jaden has shown that he is unflappable. Like his poise is a real thing. So I mean, you can't rattle.
Yeah,
And it's like you said,
I'm
but they can't run the ball. The Lions can stop the run anyway. You know, it's just the things that they do offensively. Like I do believe that the Lions offense probably gonna do what they want to do. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's what I was thinking. But I do believe that this is gonna be one of them fun games. I think this is gonna be one of them fun games where we start seeing a lot of points because I do think that Jaden and that offense, especially if he start getting mobile, that can kind of break your defense a little bit. And so I think that if he gets mobile a little bit, then next thing you know, you got running backs leaking out for dump downs and they running because didn't no linebacker run with them. Terry McLaurin gets open for a deep shot or something like that. So I think that this can be a really good game, and I'm actually giving I'm giving the Commanders a chance to win this game. But I think the Lions, I think that they just kind of they've overcome so much. I don't see this being the game that they lose.
I think once again, I think the chance that the Lions could have lost was the last game of the season versus the Vikings and the way they looked against the Vikings. I just don't see that. You know, I don't see the Commanders going to be able to just do what they need to do to win this game to beat them. Especially given you gave the team that needed the rest the most got some rest.
Yeah.
They get some
Hmm.
players. They got some players back. Some players get to heal up. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And like you said, you gave Aaron Glenn a bye week to come up with a game plan on how to stop you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what like you said,
It's
they're gonna
definitely gonna
show
be
up.
tough.
But
But
they're gonna fight. Is what I'm really saying though. So I'm giving them some credit that they're gonna fight. They're gonna show up. But I just don't. I got the Lions winning.
all right. Chiefs and the Texans.
Same way. I'm giving the Texans a chance, man. Like I get it. They played week 16 against the Chiefs, and the Chiefs decisively win that game. You know, 27-19. I get it. That was when the Texans think, was nasty. That
Yeah,
Texans team that I seen last week can't beat the Chiefs, but they show that defense can compete with the Chiefs.
that defense can compete, and even you let our shout out to our guy Joe, but you let Joe tell it. The Chiefs got the worst tackle room in the NFL. So I think they'll be able to put pressure on Mahomes. They'll be able to get him off his spot. And so just what one mistake you if you can get them to make one mistake and you can get an extra possession and you can take advantage of that extra possession. Like I said, you lost 27-19, but if you get an extra possession and you score, you could flip the whole outcome of that game. So I think that they can get pressure. I understand Andy Reid is a wizard, and he will do things to kind of mitigate that. And it could mess around and be one of them games where Travis Kelsey got 14 catches for uh 47 yards, but all of them went for a first down. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So it's
yeah.
just like it could be one of them games that's super frustrating for you, but you just got to stay the course. CJ play a clean game. Get the play action going with Joe Mixon and try and get that running game going. Keep that offense on the sideline and tire that defense out, and you will have a chance.
So I said, I think they got a chance, like I said, based off this defense. Like you said, Stingley, I mean, Chiefs don't have a receiver that we're scared of at this point. So Stingley can definitely take whoever they need to take away. And Kamari Lassiter is playing tremendously well as well.
He's stepping up.
So like you said, the pass rush, Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, they coming. Like you said, the tackles is definitely nasty for the Chiefs. They're gonna have a tough time with this defense, and that's what I'm saying. If they're gonna have a tough time with the defense, because on the flip side, I ain't really that confident in the Texans' offense, and I believe once again, I think
Right.
they're going to struggle against this defense once again.
For
Coming
sure.
off,
For sure.
coming off a bye week, another chance. Spagnola playoff Spags is a different, he a different DC anyway. So I just feel like it's going to be an ugly game. Gonna be close. Take the under on the points. But the Chiefs is gonna find a way to win.
For
Like they
sure. I can. I'm definitely rolling on that one.
can we flip our order right quick? I want to talk about the Rams and the Eagles first.
Oh, we was talking about the Rams and the Eagles first because the
So
game that's gonna tear America apart, we got to save for
we gotta say
last.
that. Okay. We on the same page. We got the Eagles and the Rams, and they played earlier this year, and this this game in particular was the game that I wasn't sold on the Rams when everybody was like, man, nobody want to play the Rams. The Rams is dangerous. I always point back to this game right here. They were healthy. They had everybody that they needed to have on that game. And that game plan that they had was one of the worst game plans I've seen Sean McVay ever had. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Do I think he's going to come out with that same game plan? No. But it's a reason why I didn't have the confidence in the Rams, like everybody else did. You don't want to play the Rams and all that. I get it. We're giving them the benefit of the doubt because they won more recently. I get that. If the Rams played like they played last week, all season, nobody would have been questioning the Rams.
Absolutely not.
Matter of fact, if they would have played a game like they played last week, any part of the regular season this year, they wouldn't have been questioned. But they haven't. So,
Exactly.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it. They get the benefit of the doubt because they won more recently. And we can remember the Super Bowl. Ooh, we get it. I get it. But if they come out here with it, that they did against the Eagles again,
It's gonna be a long night.
it'll be a long night. But playoff McVay
I can see it.
is a little different. It's a little different. And I think they would have a game plan to shut down Saquon or slow him down. Say slow him down and make Jalen Hurts beat you.
That's what I was just about to say. If they could get that going and they're able to allow that front four to get after Jalen, it could really be a long. They can really make this a long night for the Eagles, and they could they could really be the team that ruins the Eagles because if they make it where Jalen Hurts is out there trying to throw these passes and he's throwing interceptions and stuff like that, they might, hey, AJ, Devontae, and they might turn on that boy, man. And like especially if they're able to get if they're able to get after Jalen the way they got after Sam Darnold, it
Yeah,
can get ugly. And I know that the Eagles' offensive line is a different story, but let's not forget, hey, that Rams front is dogs,
I mean
dogs. I tell you,
they've given up some sacks, more sacks than they've normally accustomed to giving up. Anyway, it's just a fact. I think you got to just show, you got at this point the way he's been playing.
hmm
Like you said, you always got to figure out you got to figure out a game plan, right? So
yeah,
my game plan would be for Jalen Hurts to beat me passing.
yeah. You
Like
got
you
to
said,
show me.
we know he can run. We know he's a good runner. We know he can get the run game involved. But passing, if he's darting me up, we need to
Yeah,
see him. We need to see him how he feeling when they beat the Steelers. We need to see
yeah.
that Jalen Hurts, and
That's what y'all wanted, right?
you have to show me
You
that you
got to
can.
show me. And like the thing that I'm thinking about is Chris Shula should go in there and I'm not bringing it on my team, but the year we had our Super Bowl run, we were playing the Ravens. Lou Anarumo had Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson when they did it against Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. That trace rush where it's like you go as deep as the quarterback and you don't go as any further. As soon as you get to where he's at the top of his drop, you come back around and you keep him in that pocket and you can contain him, and then it's just like you make it hell on them and just cover tough on the back end. That's gonna be hard for them Rams guys, but they have the front to make it where it's just like they only have to cover for but so long.
And um, on the flip side, the Eagles is just don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Just don't turn the ball over because if you're gonna play, because you've shown that you can play ugly on in the passing game. That the passing game
hmm
really don't matter. You can just muck this up, run it as much as you need to. Let your defense can handle things. Maybe they can get cause some turnovers, or saying not allowing points, and you can just get about this game. And who cares how you get about this game? You just want to get out the game with a victory.
Just getting
You
ugly
know.
or not, you still made it to the NFC Championship game. Just get out, just get there
So it's very well possible that you can just have that game plan. Like, hey, look, we can win this game 3-0. You know what I'm saying?
for sure, for sure.
As long as I don't turn the ball over. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So they have the capabilities of playing that way because they played that way numerous times this year. They have the defense that can handle. They have the defense that can handle this Rams.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
So
Especially, you got Quinyon back there, Slay, Cooper, all of them boys, and then you got the front seven.
yeah,
Who was it? Nolan Smith that got hurt, or was it Dean?
and it was Dean,
It was
Jacoby
Dean.
Dean.
I was about to say it's one. I know it was somebody from Georgia, but yeah, that's a loss. But they still got tons of horses up on defense. So
Yeah.
I think the Eagles will win it, but I think this is going to be one of those games where it's just like who plays the cleanest. If the Rams can play a clean game, they can put like you said with the game plan that we believe Sean McVay is going to come up with, and how Chris Shula had them looking last week. They can make this a tough game. But
I mean,
I think that the Eagles they have more margin for error
oh,
to
for sure.
come out with a victory, and so that's why I'm going with the Eagles right now
The defensive game plan is already out there. The Packers
for
game
sure.
plan was legit. There's a lot of people that's been complaining about the game Kellen Moore had called. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, but the blueprint is there now. You can take that blueprint in there and make it your own.
put
Expound
your
on
own
that. Put your own
put your
sauce
own
on it.
sauce on them
Because they've also shown they ain't really about to deviate from what they do.
Yeah, because
So
that's what they do.
that's what they do, and it's been working. We got the overall, we got the. It don't really matter about the X's and O's on this one. We got the Jimmys and Joes. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
So yeah. Now the moment you all been waiting for. We got the Bills and the Ravens, man, and I think I was truly disappointed in how this game has been covered this week.
Yeah,
You know, we had an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? We got a we had an opportunity to talk about this game, to prop this game up, to boost this game. Two MVP candidates going head to head. We had the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, make this is gonna be an instant classic. We had we had a chance to hype this game up so much that it can't even exceed our expectation. It can't even make our expectations.
exactly.
But instead, we already made it to a conversation of, man, whoever loses this game, they go down on the totem pole and the quarterback.
Which is the craziest thing to me, because it's like, if you think that I'm like playing someone that is another elite tier quarterback, how am I going to get a ding and go down on the totem pole? Like, this means like, oh, all of a sudden this player is just, you know, solidified at number two, and then now I'm number three. Like, how does that necessarily work? Because what it so just because it was this game, like, say Josh Allen wins this game. And it's like, oh, because Josh Allen won in the playoffs. Well, like, hey, I mean, you were the number two seed. You got home field advantage, but I beat your ass in the regular season. And, just so happened. And then say what you want. It ain't like Josh Allen has played amazing in every single playoff game he's had either. But somehow he's above me, and I got 3 MVPs. What, like, huh?
And what
And
are we
so it's
doing?
not necessarily so it's not so to me it's not it shouldn't be, oh, whoever loses this game just automatically goes down on the totem pole. To me, it's whoever wins this game, how, is this your chance to overtake a Kansas City team who actually hasn't been playing that well this season, but it's like what, they're 15-2, 16-1?
Yeah, something like that.
Like, and so, like, can this be the time that two of, the next two, can this be their time to overtake Mahomes? Who is going to be able to, put their stake in the ground and say, hey, look, I'm coming for the number one crown. Not necessarily moving down, like, who's not necessarily who's moving down in the ranking, who is actually going to try and challenge Mahomes for the crown. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to be able to overcome, you know, the hurdle of going up against each other? Or, hey, this is one of the rivalries that we've all wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is one of the rivalries that we've always wanted in the playoffs, is Josh Allen and Lamar. So it's like, you got it. Like, just cherish it. Just to prop it up and say you got two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL going against each other right now. And another thing that I hate is, oh, we're talking about, oh, because you don't win these certain playoff games, you're, a lesser of a quarterback. Hey, dog, do you know how hard it is to get through the AFC with all these quarterbacks in this conference, man? What are we doing? Like, it is tough.
Yeah.
And, like, shit gotta go perfect. Shit has to go perfect. And so it's just like, hey, man, it is what it is.
It ain't like you beating Daniel Jones to go to a playoff, advance to the NFC Championship.
Exactly. And, or, Blake Bortles or something.
Yeah,
But
not like that.
who,
I think, like
yeah,
you said, they had the opportunity to, like you said, I get it. Like, let's say they play this game and Josh Allen has 2 interceptions and a fumble. Yeah, we get there Monday morning, light him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, bro, you folded. You had the opportunity to solidify
right.
yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's when you start saying all that stuff that you want to say about them. That's when you say it based off the performance. But what if they both have a classic game? What if this game goes to overtime?
What if they have their own version of the 13-second game or something like that, and it comes down to the last possession? Josh, because my thing is, Josh Allen made his career off of that 13-second game. So say this is that 13-second game, somebody's gonna get killed off of this one.
Yeah, he better not never lose. But he better not lose again on the 13th day trade. Just saying.
Oh, for sure. I'm saying I understand,
Nah, I
but
feel what you said too, but it just like you say, what if like I said, what if we get that game? What if we get an overtime game? What if we get a thriller? You know what I'm saying?
and
Like what if we
what if
get
it's
that?
one that would instant classic?
And then what if somebody on the kickoff team fumbles? Oh, that's Lamar's fault? Oh, that's Josh Allen's fault? Like, what are we really doing here?
And this is why I say ring culture has ruined fandom and it's ruined the game because we really truly don't get to appreciate the greatness that we see. Bro, we about to see, we could possibly see a 3-time MVP.
Yeah.
And we talking about I ain't believing it until I see it in the playoffs. Them other games that he's won don't matter.
Yeah, it's like I said, I get it. Like, don't get me wrong, it's some validity to their criticism because, like I said, we do want to see the playoff success from both of them. But we also got to take into account, excuse me, the journey of what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Exactly.
get it. Like I said, even
And Brayton.
if Lamar comes out there and has a 2 interception game and a fumble, then once again light him up on Monday. You know what I'm saying? And then he got to wear that. He got to wear that.
He gotta wear it.
But
He gotta wear it, of course.
we can't start setting that up. We can't start setting that narrative before the game.
We can't start talking about him like he Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that's what we not about to do. That's what we not about to do. And what we not about to do is to give anybody an excuse either. What we not about to do, well, Josh Allen ain't really had no weapon. Whoa. I get it. Maybe true. They number 2 seed. All right.
So some was working. Some was working.
I got the Ravens, bro. Who you got? Even in the cold.
Bro, ain't nobody trying to tackle Derrick Henry in this cold weather, dog.
Yeah.
And after seeing how they was running last week,
yeah.
If they come out doing that, cancel Christmas.
They got to show up though. Like I said, everybody gonna want to tackle James Cook. I know it's levels. I know it's levels.
Man,
I know.
yeah.
I know. Hey, listen, man. I want to appreciate y'all. Let me hold on. We got Dave. I think the Ravens Bill game is going to come down to which team makes a big play late, a fumble recovery, a block punt, and intercept. Exactly. And then, like I said, okay, fumble recovery. Who fumbled? Khalif Shakur? That's Josh Allen's fault?
And here's my thing.
Rashad Bateman dropped a pass. Interception. That's Lamar's fault? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, like there's so much nuance to it that, like, hey man, look, we really negate too much greatness off of just trying to be like, oh, you don't have a ring, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, man. Hey, these dudes is great, man. Just enjoy it. Can we just enjoy greatness?
I'm disappointed in everybody that had the top, that had a discussion about this game, but instead of talking about the game. You catch us on all major podcast platforms, 3Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. I'm Hill. That's AJ. Some of y'all the 4s, some of y'all the Fast 5. And it's the reason why we didn't talk about Deion going to Dallas, because it ain't happening. And we out.
Fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, nigga, fuck now.